Everybody, Too Rare Chris here, and I'm back with a new video. Never in my life thought I'd be making this video, but here I am, a year later, making this video. I am 1 year free of alcohol. I am 365 days free of alcohol. And let me tell you, the person who is sitting here in front of the camera is not the person who was a year ago. And to say that in full confidence and to be able to share my story now is kind of crazy. I never thought my life would come to this, but I'm grateful. I'm appreciative of everybody who I met along my journey. And I just want to sit down here and explain my story a little bit and stuff I've been through and how I helped myself get through those tough times and everything. And I'm an open book right now, so I might as well share it with you guys. I'm Chris. I am from Pasadena, California. I'm 22 years old, and August will leave my life forever. That is my sober date, to be exact. And if you even knew me in my life, like even just then, it's like I'm a whole I can't, like, every time I think about who I was before and now, it's like I can't believe like that was me and that was my life. And it's kind of crazy. Like, it feels like you're just reborn into a new life, and you just trying to fix all your trauma, fix everything that you went through, and just to become a better person. It's kind of crazy to think about all the life that you lived before, and like even just thinking about it, it's crazy that that was me at one point. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, it was not pretty. Like, the start of 2023 was the worst year of my life, but then it ended up becoming my most amazing year that I've ever had. So it's like I want to bring you guys along to my journey. So let me just take you back to the beginning. My first ever drink was when I was 14 years old, and that was in high school, freshman. You know, you're just getting a vodka bottle with your friends. You're not really like thinking much of it. You're like, oh hell yeah, alcohol, I'm gonna drink it. Start chugging out the bottle. I'm like, what? Like, this is cool. This is dope. You know. You're just like, all right, freshman year, here we go. You know, I'm drinking now. I'm smoking. We used to start taking like drinks in water bottles, put them in water bottles and take them to school, and just started drinking like midday. And then literally by like the last period, like your friend is all messed up and you're like, I already know why they're messed up, so let me go like make fun of them and be fun with them. But that was pretty much the start of my journey, was freshman year. Um, and you know, it was fun. It was fun, like I said. But what I know now from like looking back at that is like, oh Lord, you're ready for a whole different life now. And I mean, there you have it. You have my first ski instances I start going to. I have my first parties I start going to. You know, I'm just drinking at all of them, like partying, having fun. And I did have a lot of fun. Like, the one thing I want to say is, but I know I have a lot to say right now, but the life I lived at 14 years old till my 21 years, I've lived a life that probably people who are my age have never experienced. And I know right now it's gonna sound like I'm bragging about it and like I'm hyping it up, but there's a reason why I'm sober now today. So I mean, I just want to put that out there. But as I talk about my stories from start to beginning, I just want to put that in real quick before I get too ahead of myself. But all right, now let me go back to the story time. My bad. Let me go back to the story time. But yeah, once I started going to the quinceanera parties, you know, taking my first drink, and then, you know, at that age, we weren't allowed to like purchase alcohol, so we'll have friends that are like selling them on Snapchat, like, hey, I got a bottle, I got a bottle. You know who's the first one? Be like, all right, bet, which one? This one. I want this one. I want this one. Come through and I'll buy it from you. So that's kind of how that started. And then, you know, I moved into a new school my high school year, and to a continuation high school. And then from there, you're like, you know, the people who look down on you bad already, you know, you're like in your own thing already. So, but like, we got out early and everything, like our classes and all that. But that's where like all the fun started, because we had time in the day to go to the beach. We were making beach trips, like just getting drunk, getting crazy, like and we would just pack ourselves all in like one car, and then we would like have another homie that come pull up with another car, and we were just like there. We were there, boom, just drinking all the time. And by that time, I was not a freshman anymore. Yeah, that time I wasn't a freshman anymore, so I was just living my life until my senior year. So this is all like going through senior year. Like we were just drinking in school. I mean, I didn't really drink in school actually, to be honest. If now that I think about it, I didn't really drink in school. Like going into like my senior year and everything, because I saw everybody else getting drunk by the thing. I'm like, damn, like we can't wait till we get after. Like we can get it cracking at the house and up the street, and but then the next thing you know, you're babysitting them and all that. So it's fun, it's crazy. I like it. I'm experienced life. Like, hey, I'm going to parties. I'm getting all the girls that I want. Like talking to seeing all the girls that I really like and all that. And it was fun. Like I said, it was fun until COVID year happened. And when COVID happened, schools got shut down, everything, and I kind of took it as, and I was drinking so much that it was affecting me and my mom's relationship, because she was like, "Oh, you're never coming home. You're never doing this," or like, "You're out smoking and like you're not supposed to be smoking." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just what so what? Like I'm just drinking." And there's a point where in 2020, when the beginning of all this, like I was like going to my friends, like they were like sleeping in hotels and all that, and I was just like, all right, like fuck it, I have a cool home. I got a nice, comfortable, like my family loves me at home, but I want to go kick it with the homies because they're getting drunk at a hotel, and that's like kind of like the route I was choosing. I was just like, oh man, and not even drinking. Like we were not just drinking either. We were doing like stuff, and one thing leads to another. Like I'm just addicted to like some Xanaxes and all that, and I'm over here just popping pills and everything, you know. And like I said, it was fun at the moment, but at that time, I was friends with a lot of people, and I was always ruining a lot of relationships with them because, like, let's say I was good friends with someone, and like every time they did something was to make me jealous, I would like be like just popping pills and just getting mad and all that. So it was just a thing for disaster. Like it was like it was a mess. Now that I think about it, like it's fun and everything, but at the end of the day, it was like my life was a mess, and I was ignoring everything. I was leaving a good home. I was wanting to go kick it with the homies. I wanted to be in the hotels. You say hotel, I'm there. Like if I didn't have a good family back at home, but yeah, that's like kind of the life I was choosing around that time. And then like kind of like 2 years in, like a year into like lockdown, like I got depressed and I was eating. I was skinny my whole life, and then I got chunky, and I was like, what? Like I was so like down bad. And then you know, I was just using all the money I could for just alcohol and just drinking whenever I did. I was just like, man, now that I think about that time, I was just down bad. Like 2020 was the worst year. I was down bad. I didn't have no job. I was just drinking every day. I was just doing drugs every day. Um, I was losing the friendships and everything. And then moving on from that was I was hanging out with I had like 3 other friends and all that. I had like a friend group that I was hanging out with, and man, let me tell you, when we had a ball. Like we were going everywhere with each other, everything. But then I had like a little situation with someone, and I ended up like it was just a toxic thing. It was terrible. Like, and it was only like 6 to 7 months long. But in those 6 to 7 months long, I met the worst person of my life, and that was like me in a different form. Because when I talk about like my mental health, it all kind of like really started from there, because like I was ignoring those problems throughout the years. And when I got in this relationship, like it really showed that I didn't care about myself. My self-esteem was so low that I let people just run over me and everything. So I just wanted to have a good time and party and drink with anybody. So it was like, hey, you could do this to me, this to me, this to me, as long as you bring alcohol and drugs, like we cool, all right, we good, we on this path. So that was still my life, and that person was just like, she knew I was just like I was a lame motherfucker. So she used it to her advantage, and she was like with me, and but talking to everybody else, and like, you know, all that other stuff. So, and then I felt like it's so crazy when I think back that time. I feel like I was like, I knew about all this stuff, but it's like I was drinking so much. I feel like I was drunk, like my mind was drunk like 24/7. I don't know if there's a scientific fact to that, because it was just like, no, like I know it's there, but I don't really want to care about it. You know, it's like I was like, I know the truth is there if I look hard enough, but I don't want to, because I'm here for a good time and not a long time. So that was just my mentality at that time. Let me tell you guys. Let me tell you guys, do not ignore all those signs, man. But I felt like I had to go through that situation to become who I am today, because that situation made life just smack me right in the face. Like, there was like no going back from this moment. Like, I ended up getting cheated on for the first time. Like, it was my first relationship when someone didn't respect me. It was all that, and me being like so like detached from like real life, because I just wanted to party, I just wanted to drink, I just wanted to do all this and this and that, that I had no ounce in me that cared about like my own self. Like, I didn't care what this person was doing. I was like, but I know she's affecting me because I'm acting out. I'm like doing things I've never done before. Like, I'm over here like, I would not argue, but then when I get drunk, I'm like, I'll bring it up. All the problems bring it up. So it's just like, it was very unhealthy at the time. And, you know, you just don't take care of it. You apologize the next day, you apologize the next day, but just a cycle. Because one thing about me that I learned is like, when people lie to me, it's like, that just like ticks me. Like, and if you keep doing it, it's just like, I didn't know at the time that that was like a big thing in my life. Like, if you are lying to me, it would trigger something. So, um, yeah, once that relationship ended, it was real truth is on January 1st, 2023 was the real deal. Like, hey, now you are here and you got all these problems and all these things that you did in your past, but now it's time to look at it in your face, because January 1st, 2023, I got in a car. I was upset at my last chick, and she was lying to me. And, you know, I got in the car. I was just chilling in the car. I thought I was sitting there the whole time. When, woke up the next morning, like, and something told me like, hey, like, go check your car. Like, I feel like you crashed your car. Like, it was just my mind telling me that you're 100%, like, and so I kind of knew it. And, yeah, sure enough, I went outside, and my whole like bumper was like scratched up and everything. And I looked at my phone, like, I was like, oh man, it was crazy. I found out that I was sending my location that I was down in like LA and all that. And um yeah, it was at a spot that I loved and I cared about, like a spot like that meant a lot to me. um I always say it's like my favorite place in the world. And then I woke up and I saw my location on it, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what were you doing up there, man? And not even that, it's like, I don't even remember driving or anything. I just remember like crashing, like parking. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh, I think I crashed parking. But um, it was like the feeling of that. I would never in my life want to feel that again, because like for the next 2 months, like I had some realization to do. Like, I didn't go to work for a whole month. Like, I was in my house, like on the couch. Like, I could remember this, like my body was like just slumped over like that. And I just remember the worst things I could ever like say to myself, the worst things, decisions that I could say. um I just I just remember that day, like, uh, but yeah, I just like every time I think, I don't really think about that time, but every time I do, it's just it's just a feeling I never want to experience again. ever wanted to experience again. And I was even lying to my friends about it. My friends at the time, I was lying to them about it, like, oh yeah, I just can't go out today because of this. Like, my car, like, I can't go out today. Like, and they were like wondering, like, oh, like what happened, like, and but the thing is, I didn't check my car. I didn't have insurance on my car at the time, so I didn't check my car to see what was wrong with it. But every time I move it, it would just make this loud scraping sound. So I thought the transmission was on the floor. So I was like, fuck, like I thought like I crashed it, like with the whole transmission's on the floor. So it's like I was just not going to work. I was really at home just doing the same thing like every single day, just like contemplating my life, like never wanting to feel that feeling again. And then my friends got to a point where like they got me to going out and everything, and like I still was lying to them until one point I was just like, hey, like this is what happened. And they were like, what? Why didn't you tell me? And I was like, you just like, I just like that moment is like so embarrassing. Like just because you were mad at someone, but you put other people in risk in a car and driving like that under the influence like that when you're upset and that, it has no like there's no excuse for that. Like there's so much stuff that could have happened, but you got to be grateful. And um it's like God gave me another chance. Like he didn't hurt like let anybody put in my path that night, and I'm so grateful. And I think that's what it was. It's like, oh, like when I started like going back to work and I started thinking about it, I was like, God really gave me another chance. And um it's like it started like, why am I still here? Because anything could have happened that night. Anything could have happened that night. But the fact that nothing happened, I just got a few scratches on my bumper. I was like, oh man, like, cause it was like a wake up call that I needed. And I was going out with my friends still, like, but every time I was out, I literally in 2023 I've only drank 10 times, and all 10 times I remember, like every single night that I was out those 10 times and I did drink, I remember it was the most miserable I've ever been. Like you could see it on my face. Like I'm at like parties and like I'm just thinking about like that situation. Like I'm not supposed to be here right now. I'm not supposed to be drinking right now, and I'm still drinking right now. And I just remember like like I couldn't even like, and I was like doing like Molly and all that, and it's like those things make you happy, and I'm at a party like so like sad and all that. So I already knew. And then going to my birthday, uh I was turning 21 that year. I turned 21 in 2023, and I remember going to the club, and I was like in the club, and I was like looking around, like it was free bottles, like free everything, like everything was on the house. My friend was the promoter, so everything was fruit. Like I didn't have to pay for nothing. And I just remember looking around like, man, why am I even here right now? Like I have nothing to show for myself. I have no brand. I've been wanting to do a clothing brand for my whole life, and I like can't even. I don't even have nothing. Like I can't even. Oh, what up, everybody? My name is Chris. Bam, that's it. And it's just like that. Like from that day, it like lit a fire in me that I needed. And every day till then, I went to a festival. It was Heart Summer Festival, and I went with some people who I barely knew. Like I knew from like 5 years ago, and we were partying and everything. And I just remember getting back to his crib, and we had like Molly up the ass. We were drinking. Like I wasn't even supposed to be drinking that day, but we were drinking. And I just got to a point like we were already like the festival was already done, and like it was just this. Like I was just chilling at his house now. And that last night I remember like I was just like drunk as hell, and I was like didn't know where. I was like I just need to take a shower. And I went in the shower, and I was like just freaking out. Like I was like, oh, like there must be a camera in here. Like, oh, I'm just freaking out because I was dealing with people stalking me before. So that trauma just kind of like went through that, and I was just like freaking out. I was like going everywhere. I was like, oh my God, like I can't even shower. Like I know I need a shower after that bender, and then I was just freaking out. And I was in this. I remember just being in the restroom, like having the water on for like 20 minutes while I'm just going crazy in this bathroom, and I came out and I was even wet, and he was like, "What the hell? Like you just wasted my water like that?" So I was like, "Oh, my bad, bro." And then I ended up going to my car, and I just remember that feeling. Like don't ever want to feel this feeling again. And I remember I slept in my car, and then he had to come get me out. Like it was crazy, but um that was actually August 7th, 2023. So the day before. And I just remember going home that night. I remember going home that night. I was like, on the way to driving home, I have a picture too. I could put it right here, but I have a picture. It's like, I never want to feel this feeling again. And it was like serious that time. So that leads to my next day is August 8th, 2023 is the day I made the change and everything. And it was the best decision in my life because after all that and dealing with all that, I spent a whole year working on myself, fixing on myself, seeing what my triggers are and how to avoid them. I mean, not drinking. I had to it was a tough decision, but I had to cut all my friends out that were that I was partying with because they didn't understand. Like as a 21-year-old, we're supposed to be living our life, and I'm like the one wanting to stay in the house now, staying in the house and then never really going out or wanting to go out unless it was the gym. And it was just like they didn't understand that, and it was just a bunch of miscommunications on all of our hands, which led to them being upset that I couldn't hang out with them, and they just took it like, oh, he doesn't want to hang out with us no more. But to be honest, it was like all those times I did hang out with them before, it was just, I remember that year I was just so miserable because I was just not having fun. Like I was just out and I was like, I don't have nothing to show for myself. And it was hard too. I was already dealing with all right, I'm trying to get better. And then when that fight happened, when they were like, oh, you're being distant, and I was just like, all right, I'm just trying to do me. I'm not picking sides. I'm just trying to do me. And it hurt their feelings. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter to me at that point because I was just choosing me for the first time. And that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to choose yourself. And, from then, we had a talk. And then fast forward to me making my brand called Be Aware of Mind. And it brings awareness to mental health. And that's kind of my way to I have so much life experience. Like I said, I've lived a life since I was 14 years old to 21. And the amount of experience I had is like a 30, 40-year-old probably never had lived that kind of life. And I did. So I feel like I learned a lot from it though, because I took the time and I took a whole year off and I learned a lot about myself. I healed about it. And if you know anything about healing, it's probably it's the best thing you do, but it's the worst thing too, because you had to face every problem, every situation that you put yourself into. All those years, the 7 years I put my mental health in the back break and never acknowledge anything because I was just going to keep hurting people and keep hurting people that hurt me and keep on that cycle. So once I broke that cycle, a lot of things came in my life, and a lot of blessings came in my life. And that's kind of what I want to tell you guys is you can still do all that stuff, but for me personally, it was there was no way I could have moved forward in my life, and there was no way I could have leveled up in my life the way I did. And just for me, that was something I needed to do. And I always tell myself maybe I will drink in the future, but it's just as of right now, it's there's no point because there's a lot of things goals I have that I have not reached. And I want to buy my mom a house. I want to retire my grandma. I want to do this. I want to do that. But there's no way of me doing it where there's distractions in my face all the time because I'm a person who will fall for the distraction. I will go to that. So for me, being on this path is the best way for me to reach that goal. And this is what I'm here doing now. This is to reach that. I already took the step. This is the second step now is just continue doing this and continue doing what I actually want and bringing light to mental health, and that it really doesn't matter who you are, it will come and get you, and if you allow it, but there's ways that you could like break it, and there's ways that you could heal from it, and this is like what I'm doing now, and I hope to bring you guys the content. Like I said, I am not perfect by any means. I will still make mistakes, but I am still trying every single day that like that from here. Like I'm still trying every single day to be a better person from who I was back then, and it still like haunts you. It still be there, but I made peace with it, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my story, or along with this journey with me now of sobriety. But as of right now, I am in San Diego, and I am enjoying myself and enjoying my time, and because I'm making some big changes, and I just needed to get away from everybody. Like this is like I come down to San Diego to get away from everybody and just relax and not have nothing worried about. But I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, and it's Tuber Chris, and I'm back with another video. Peace.